Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to StarCraft 2 AI Arena, where bots fight to the death. In the top right corner, playing as the red Terran, this is Nikolaj. And playing in the bottom left corner in blue, we have the Terran SilverBio. Alright, so this is actually a request from Dax, who's the author of Nikolaj. He wanted to see showcase Nikolaj against SC2. Unfortunately, with his recent updates, he's completely crushing my bot, and the games weren't so much entertaining, but still wanted to feature him, so I picked this game against SilverBio, which you'll see in a moment is going to be a very tense game. Now, I've watched some games of Nikolaj, trying to find some nice footage for you guys. And we'll see from the get-go he's going for some Reaper harassment, which SC2 was completely not reacting to, so he would get about 10 drone kills in most games, sometimes by a bit of a luck streak. My queen was positioned correctly, or he was going in front of my Zerglings, but most of the time just standing in the mineral lines and completely wrecking my early economy. Now SilverBio, as the name implies, is probably going to go for some sort of bio composition, so probably Marine Marauders and some Medivacs. A bit of a fun fact, Dax is probably a Brooklyn Nine-Nine fans because on the description of its bot it says it's pronounced Nikolaj, not Nikolaj. If you've watched the show, you know what this is. Also, as the early game progresses, I actually wanted to post another video today, but the editing was taking a bit more time, so I figured I would play a bot versus bot match. But in my next video, I'm going to show you how I deal with region analysis and how I detect choke points using raycasting and digital differential analyzer. These are some fancy terms, but you'll see it's not all that complicated. It's actually very intuitive, and it's very cool to watch. So hopefully I'll get that in for next week. See here the two Reapers doing a little face-off here. This is probably a miscalculation on the mine range. I'm guessing the Reaper is staying just in safe range from the other Reaper, but he was missing the mine attack. Not sure how he's calculating the position, but it seemed like the radius was very close. So we see here this is probably a jump point for the Reaper. Not so sure why it's going into the natural. Maybe it doesn't know on this map that there are other jump points. Here, a good mine shot, but the Reaper is going to be stuck in a corner and ends up falling down. So no damage for the Reaper this game. I don't quite think he's going for another one. We see a mine here and some Marines. Starport going down and a siege tank in production. We've got orbital here, orbital there, and second orbital going down for SilverBio. So we're going to see some mules. And scans might be helpful to attack on the high ground. Although with the starport and the medevac coming in, we'll give air support to the army. So we're going for a push, 6 Marines, 1 Widow Mine and a tank. In the meantime, we have a couple of Marines and Marauders. These might come in handy against siege tanks. We'll see how it goes. So no air support just yet. So the army is going to be facing an unknown threat. Here's siege tank going into siege mode, a bit far, but the Marines falling back on the tank. So as we can see here, yeah, Marines completely getting destroyed, but the Marauders taking easy care of the siege tank. Here, 6 Marines and a tank down against 5 Marines, so good trades for SilverBio. We already see the medevac is ready now. Defensive bunker and then unburrowed Widow Mine. We look at the units count. Not much army going for Nikolaj after this first push. His barracks just started some production, even though you have a reactor here going for Marines one at a time. And floating a bit of minerals and gas. Not sure if it's trying to get another CC. We'll see pretty soon. Yeah, so resources went down. Not sure where it was spent. We're going for a Banshee next. So we see big movement here for SilverBio, taking a third. Actually building the CC instead of flying it. Upgrade wise, we have concussive shells and shield for the Marines of SilverBio, while no upgrades for Nikolaj, who's actually moving in with a similar composition as before, but with the medevac and a Raven also. Lonely siege tank here getting caught off. Yeah, this Bioforce is way too strong. Maybe the mine will get a decent hit, but with the marine shields, the siege mine isn't as effective. But the tanks here doing some damage. But again, no marine support means the marauders can get to it pretty fast. We'll see how the bunker holds up. So Nikolaj actually knows how to wall the natural ramp, which is one thing that completely destroys Seljuk because of the siege tank positioning behind the wall, and my roaches are kind of getting stuck into the wall. And in most games it just wrecks my first few attacks until I get a massive number of roaches, but this time he has too many siege tank. We see here the siege tank positioned in the main base up the ramp, doing good work against the marauders on the low ground. The SCV seems to be a bit confused here, but some of them are doing their job repairing the CC, which will it hold? Now they seem to be working well. And the siege tank picking off any marauders that get too close. This is probably going to hold for now. So great positioning on the siege tank here. Maybe they could be a bit closer, like this one is already better. Oh, we got some SCVs coming from the third, trying to help. So we know they were stuck here, but actually they were probably avoiding the marauders that they were seeing, so preventing them from moving to the naturals, seeing that there is a marauder in between them. So that's good micro right there. A bit undecisive here on the Marines, or they are baiting the marauders into siege tank fire, which might very well be the case. So here, giving some hits and then falling back. A good anti-armor mine here. Missile, sorry. But then again, not enough bio, so the tanks get picked off. They don't have enough time to deal damage, but still doing good damage. Ooh, we've got the cloaked Banshee here. Doesn't even so much need to be cloaked after this Marine goes down. But it seems like in the code, the Banshee is just set to cloak all the time, because here it doesn't need, it could save up some energy just taking down the marauders. But eventually it's gonna go uncloaked. And from previous games, I think the Banshee doesn't really consider if it's cloaked or not, so it might try to fly into these Marines or even the missile turrets uncloaked. We'll see if it's... No, it's not avoiding anything. But maybe it bought enough time for Nikolaj to build back up. So only 2 siege tanks here in the main ramp. Production wise, going for more siege tanks. Not a lot of Marines. Seems like it keeps like 6 or 8 Marines, just a small force, which proved to be not enough in the past. So next push, ignoring the third, even though the bot could probably know that there is a third here. This behavior looks very similar to Sejuk, just going straight for the main, which is kind of the simplest thing you can do, right? You build up your force, you send it to the main. And generally if you break the main, you're probably fine because that's where the production lie. But here, great placement of siege tank here, completely destroying any push going into the natural. Especially against Marines. They do have shields, but now the on the upgrade side we see +1 for mech and +1 for bio, so damage is ramping up. Let's see, more expands, so now Nikolaj is taking some liberties on the eco side. Given this army, they could easily split off and hit the far expands instead of trying to push the natural, which is heavily defended. And yeah, as I say this, Nikolaj moving in troops into another spot. Do we still have defense at home? No, we don't. So this push might actually be very dangerous. We'll see the siege tank here in range. And the Marines, this is very nice. The Marines really baiting. Maybe they're baiting too much, but with the high ground here, they don't know the tank is there. So the bait was just enough, and then free damage here. If we look at units loss, this is becoming advantageous for Nikolaj. But here, the main is now undefended. Well, there is a siege tank there, so it's going to be probably enough to protect the main. Widow Mines, I haven't seen great Widow Mines hit just yet. Ooh, okay. This is good, just planting on top of the... Oh, look at this. Another shot. Ah, the siege tank here doing ravages, wow. Okay, good hold from Nikolaj. Losing the natural, but he has 1, 2, 3, 4 extra bases. Doesn't really need the natural so much. The production is kept untouched. But now on the unit side of things, 7 siege tanks, so slowly but surely building up a siege tank force. Does have a medevac and a Raven for air vision. No Vikings from SilverBio, although these bio balls are big, but with that many siege tanks, you can't really get anywhere close if they're sieged properly. So I wonder, I don't think Nikolaj has vision of the army just yet. Now it sees it. How will it react? Because there's no... The siege tank previously defending the main is not there anymore, but army moving in. Tank staying far back, which might be a good thing if he can bait it in. Widow Mines, good hits. But this horse is going to hit. We see here supply depot going up when they see any enemy units, which is great at preventing stuff like link floods and just generally slowing down. No stutter step from SilverBio, because here ramps are hard choke points. Could just go up the ramp instead of having a few Marines hitting the supply depots and getting stuck into the ramp, which gives us... This gave enough time to Nikolaj to build up more siege tank, again covering the ramp. Really clutch defense from Nikolaj here. Seems like the siege tank always come just right on time to prevent any push into the main. Natural, not very well defended. Well, I mean, considering the pushes, not so bad. But if it weren't for these outside expands, left untouched, this would be way worse. Ooh, many siege tanks here. This is probably going to be too much. Oh yeah, even though there's not enough bio support, with this amount of siege tanks, I don't think Marines and Marauders can cut it. Yeah, look at this. Super fire, even those two in the back. I like the placement of siege tanks overall for Nikolaj so far. So unsieging everything. Very careful with the movements. So I guess the logic here is like the Marines get in front and they're mostly just scouts, right? They don't really fight. As soon as they see something, they fall back to the tanks. And the tanks are able to siege in time because of the forward position of the Marines. Hero Marine here baiting all all of SilverBio's forces to their death. And of course, we won't forget to mention the medevac keeping this super Marine alive. And that's all you need, right? A single Marine. And a medevac with clutch pickups. Yeah, here SilverBio seems, I don't know if it's stuck in a bad loop or something, but doesn't really regroup forces, just sending a stream of reinforcement to the front. Here, nice siege tank movements. Will he siege the tanks in the back? No, not sure why he's retreating now, but so right now, unit lost 243 Marines. That's a lot of Marines for, well, admittedly 61 Marines from Nikolaj and 12 siege tanks. A lot of SCVs killed with all these natural pushes. Now that's a happy bird in the background right there. I think it's cheering for Nikolaj. So if we look at army values, Nikolaj clearly has an advantage. Here's mostly Marines for SilverBio, and this tank column is going to even the Widow Mines are doing good work. Splash damage against Bio is great, obviously. We see upgrades in production. Not sure about the air weapons for Nikolaj, but alright, siege tank setting up between the natural and the third. Oh, a bit undecisive here. And in the meantime, pushing the fourth. Nice surround there. Blocking all exits, splitting the army into small groups, hitting multiple places at the same time. At this point, I think SilverBio is done for, but even if he had armies, he would have to choose between the third and the fourth, but there's siege tanks here, and even these can participate in blocking any reinforcements from coming in. As more siege tanks fall in, it looks like all hope is lost for SilverBio in this game. So very impressive siege tank placements, I have to say. These reinforcements, not sure what they're thinking they're doing. Yeah, I'm not sure what they're seeing, but there you go. Maybe it's like a reserve force or something. Just staying at a distance back, waiting to reinforce the main army. But here, these siege tanks, although they're quite close to the high ground and no air support, I mean, these few Marines not grouping up won't do anything to stop it. Very cool movement from the Marines here, moving in after the siege tanks did their job. This was a good game. Clearly at the start, SilverBio did have the upper hand. Maybe if it did split to hit the outside bases, trying to contain Nikolaj into the natural and the main, which would have run out of resources pretty fast. I think we would have a completely different game, but as soon as the tanks were in big numbers, we could see the biocomp not working as much. But even defending the natural and the main base, we've seen some pretty good siege tank placements that turned out to be critical for winning this game. So I'm just gonna speed it up right now because I think it's pretty clear. Look at these siege tanks just raining down hell. Bots generally don't tap out because it's kind of hard to assess if you're winning, or if you just had a big loss but you still have a chance at a win. So they just keep on playing, and anyways, it's not like their time is valuable, they just play automatically all the time. So you can see from Nikolaj's vision, he knows about this space right here, not the next one.
Upgrade.
Some bots are not able to properly scan and search for remaining
Been
buildings,
advised.
so we've seen many bots just chilling. Look at this, total
Command
disrespect.
center
Nikolaj trying
upgrade
to
complete.
build into the opponent's main, even though there's no resources there.
Vespine Geyser.
And this should be the last. GG, good job Nikolaj. When Sajuki is back on your level, we'll have a proper face-off. In the meantime, if you guys want your bot to be showcased, just let me know in the comments. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one.